do this. Let's do it. We've been talking too long. We've been recording for 20, not recording. We started in 27 minutes. We gotta keep going. I just had a shit ton of soda. I'm feeling good. I don't want this to fade. Let's fucking do this. Welcome to Side Character Quest. I'm your high energy, high stakes side character guest, Eli, and with you as usual is your high energy, high stakes side character host.
That is Ty. Hello, everybody. It's me. I've got so much energy.
Yeah!
I've
had so much soda today, and my 30-year-old heart is about to beat out of my chest. Yeah, that's good. This is a good intro. Let's do this!
Last time on Side Character Quest.
Roderick found Velma.
And
the little girl that he was originally trying to find. Remember years ago when Roderick fell down a hole looking for a small child?
Literally years ago.
He tackled a stone statue. There was a second stone statue. They both tried to fight Roderick. Roderick said, nah. Grabbed Velma, rescued her from being under arrest. They fucking had to run away from a collapsing bridge. They're all together. Treya's like, hey dude, you've pissed off this whole town of skeletons. And there's only one way out of where we are now, and that's through them.
Nothing but the sound of hoofbeats echoing through a long, dark tunnel. I can hear them up ahead. A flickering light. What do you do?
Yeah, let's go, Starshine. Let's go, Moonbeam. And I'm going to, for my first skill check, attempt to get these horses running to the max. I'm going to push these skelly horses to the limit with an animal handling check.
All right, roll that shit.
Okay, that's a 14.
DC 12.
Okay, good. That's a 14.
Yes. All right, one success. Charging down the tunnel, you gain speed and you push these horses to their limit right as you make out the shapes of a crowd of skeleton people carrying torches and waving their clubs and shovels and pickaxes at the mouth of the tunnel.
Roderick yells, "Move or you will be moved." That's an intimidation check that I'm trying to do.
Roll me an intimidation.
Okay, that's a fucking 20, dirty 20.
Dirty 20. All right. As you yell at this group of people, they burst apart and you're able to cut your way through the crowd. But as soon as you and Velma have made it through, you see more people towards the crowd center starting to converge on your position. What do you do? Okay,
this will be my biggest gamble, okay?
Okay.
I don't think you're ready for this. Are you ready for this gamble?
I'm not ready.
Okay. Treya, reach into my bag, grab the notebook, and tear off the card that says butter.
Treya reaches into your bag and pulls out the card.
Hand it to me.
And does so.
On the count of 3, I want you to reach in. There's a small glob of butter in my bag. When I count to 3, I want you to throw it in the air. And this is going to be, unnecessarily, a sleight of hand check as I try to catch the butter with the card and activate this card in the arcane notebook that says butter. Slows them down a little, but remember to keep moving because they'll get back up in a second. Prank potential high.
Yeah, okay. Give me that sleight of hand, dude.
All right, just so everyone knows.
I will say that you have disadvantage because you're doing all this this crazy maneuver while you're riding the horse, but you have advantage because Treya's helping you.
No, I should have disadvantage because remember, Roderick has one hand. So once, when Treya has handed him the card, he has put the reins in his mouth. He is gripping the saddle totally with his powerful thighs, and he is going to attempt to keep balance to grab this butter with this card to cast it. Hey Ty, the only reason I'm doing this is I think it'll be really fucking cool or really fucking funny, and there's no in between.
All right, well, fine. It averages out regardless, I'm going to say.
Oh, averages out?
Averages out.
All right.
So DC 12.
-1, baby. That's a 13. That's a 13. That's a 13. The energy.
You describe this scene to me. You see the tunnel. We're going to need to go that way. Atreya points towards a tunnel on the other side of the town, not the way that you guys had originally arrived from, but some other new direction. Describe to me what happens next.
All right, so here's what happens. Roderick reins in his teeth. Hold on. Says this. And he squeezes with his left thigh, getting the horse to move to the right. He is on the outside curve of Moonbeam, so as Starshine turns, Moonbeam is also forced to turn. And then he says, 1, 2, 3! And at the count of 3, Treya throws the glob of butter in front of Roderick, and as the horse's hooves slide on the broken cobblestones as they make this turn, Roderick swats the butter with the card towards the
crowd?
The crowd.
And it flies through the air towards the crowd and then explodes in this shower of grease.
Hell yeah! Yeah, yeah!
That was good.
That went way better than I hoped it would.
Yeah, I really wasn't I'm down. Part of me was like, maybe I should have made it harder, but no, fuck it. I love it.
Yeah, like I was worried on that sleight of hand. I was like, there's no way that this is gonna work. And like when I rolled, it almost like landed on the 4 and then just like scooted back to the 14. And I was like, no fucking way. No fucking way.
That's so good.
It like bounced off something just right or something.
Oh man.
My animal handling is only.
Deep beneath the ground, in an unhallowed network of tunnels and caves, sit 4 figures cooking something on a campfire. Fran smiles, cloaked in violet. Velma laughs and sharpens a borrowed blade. Treya leans back, strong and gaunt. And Roderick fakes a smile as he tries to flex his missing arm.
I mean, I'll be honest, I didn't think I was going to be able to keep up with him either. But, you trained this horse nice though, Roderick.
Yeah. How the hell did we get here, Velma? We were looking for a girl. And look where we are now.
Fran signs. She said, she says that we did find her, at least.
Yeah. Yes, we did. But I'm starting to think that getting her home is going to be another matter. But while we're here and we're safe, Treya, you said you'd give me some answers, and I think now is a good time to get them.
Well, yes, I suppose so. We haven't really had this sort of breather. I'm sorry, it's hard for me to keep track of what it is you 3 know. What is the world like now?
The world is the world. That's a complex question for someone who has not seen otherwise. The skies above, and apparently there is a hole in the ground that leads to a community of people who appear to be skeletons to others, but don't know about it.
It's not just the single hole, but yes, I get your point.
Where are there other exits?
Yes. You think there's going to be this many different tunnels without more exits? They're all sealed up throughout, but with the right magic, they can be opened.
And would you have this magic?
No. You have to be a member... Well, you have to have been granted permission by a member of the royal family, or one of their arcanists.
We're gonna come back to that.
Sorry, I feel like your expression tells me that this was a lot.
One, royal family. 2, Arcanist. And 3, I just realized I met someone else from above. That the person who brought the skeleton, those bones I gave you. He got down here somehow.
That's unsettling. Did he say how?
No.
Wait, who did you meet? Who else did you meet?
It was a goblin. Said his name was Lar. He gave me some bones to make a prosthetic.
I saw him!
You did?
Yeah!
So he's not just a hallucination.
That's quite a relief. I'm being honest. I've never seen a goblin down in these tunnels before. I'll be frank. So,
Well, I'll be
healing-
Roderick.
Very funny.
Sorry.
That's okay.
Sorry, I've lost my train of thought. Where were we?
Well, there's got to be some other way to get down here because someone else found their way down here. But you said that there was a royal family. Hey Ty, there's not a royal family of. Yeah.
You roll me a history check.
16.
Okay. You know that there is no royal family that you are aware of. Like, it's not like this is a term that you don't recognize.
Sure.
There are stories about the concept of a royal family, but this is kind of like if somebody was to say like, oh yeah, back when the United States had a king and a queen. It's like, what? When was this? Like, this is not a thing that you would have expected.
Gotcha. How about this, Tria? I feel like we can go back and forth, trading. What? What does this mean? Like, this has never been true. I know the loss is a common thing, right? That's common knowledge.
Yeah. I'm not going to make you roll for that.
Cool.
That is the idea that there was a period in history where prior to that. Actually, you tell me what you think of when you say the loss, and I'll correct you.
Yeah,
otherwise.
basically, there's like you said, a period of history where basically anything before that has been lost. Like, things were discovered that are pre-loss, but like those like strange artifacts are like the only thing, or the only like connection we have to the past. Like before that.
Yes, that is, you know that to be more or less accurate. Like, that is Roderick's knowledge as well. I'll add that Roderick knows that it's somewhere in the realm of 400 to 600 years ago. Like,
Okay.
somewhere in that vicinity.
Treya, I know that a few hundred years ago, all of existence, all the memory of existence leading up to that point was forgotten. And I have to imagine that perhaps whatever is happening down here is part of that. So we could probably go back and forth saying things that don't make sense to one another, but how about we start with what happened here?
You mean why are the tunnels around?
With the tunnels, the the unhallowed energy.
I don't know why we're all
skeletons.
skeletons. If I knew why we were all skeletons, do you think that I would still be one? Do you think I would have agreed to this?
Is my Russian slipping?
No, that's fine.
Okay.
Do you think that I would have agreed to this if that I would have allowed it? If I knew why I was a skeleton? I can tell you, the tunnels are here as a safeguard. All right?
A safeguard from what?
From the God King. They're to protect us from the army of the God King. You think that we can stand up against his corrupted beasts, his soldiers?
Treya, what are you talking about? Who is the God King? What is his army? What are these corrupted beasts?
So, I do not know how long, for longer than I have been alive.
She sort of shakes her head as she says alive.
Ish.
Ish. And you see Fran smile in response to that.
As long as I have been alive, there has been a war. And Mount Rena, the doors of Mount Rena, they have been safe up there, just coaxing the skies to protect them. The Dragon Bay is safe for obvious reasons, but we had no way to protect ourselves. We had no fortifications, so we went down. And
what about the wall?
She pauses. There's a long pause. Have you mentioned the wall to her yet?
No. I don't think I've really mentioned anything past gotta find Velma, gotta find the child, gotta get out.
I do not know what are you referring to?
The wall that encircles the world. There's the whole of existence is encircled by a wall. Everyone knows this.
What do you... Where?
Everywhere. It's the edge of the world.
There's just a wall winding its way through the fields and stuff? What are you talking about?
Yeah, it's a massive wall that encircles everything.
A circle.
How do you not know about this?
I'm sorry, I've never... This must be from after this.
And she gestures towards herself.
It's just... There's no war. There's no corrupted beast up there. I mean, the dwarves of Mount Rena, sure, I haven't been there, but I've seen a dwarf or two, and Dragon Bay, is Dragon Bay like a thing? I haven't heard of Dragon Bay, but, well, who is the God King?
The God King... It's hard to know what is real and what is not about him. I personally believe that he was just a man at some point who thought himself better, thought himself above, and who wanted to make sure that everyone else felt that way as well.
Did he have a name?
Not that he must have, I suppose. I do not know it.
Was his name... Does the name Nox mean anything to you?
She pauses for a moment and turns her head and rolls a check.
I'm sorry, that name does not mean anything to me.
What about the name Luke? And Roderick reaches into his pocket and he pulls out his religious symbol that he has just had in his pocket ever since leaving the prison. Does this symbol mean anything to you?
She's going to roll another check.
Can I give her advantage by...
Because you're showing...
Yeah. And by also mentioning the greatness that is Lumen.
Go for it. Yeah.
You know, he is the sun in the sky. He is the light in the darkness. The light that drives out the shadow of Nox.
She rolled a 16 on her religion check.
Ooh.
Oh, yes. Lumen Nox, yes, I get it, yes. Sorry, in the context of the God King, this did not click with me. Lumen, as far as I'm aware, is, a real god? I guess he's not a fucking asshole who's, going about sending his armies...
And that is the sound of Eli's big side character quest theory being dashed upon the rocks of knowledge.
You during all of this, you have seen Fran looking back and forth at all of you guys, and she's just getting a little bit. You kind of get the roll me an insight check real quick.
16.
Okay, you get the vibe that she is a little bored and also a little a little uncomfortable for some reason that you can't quite place. Maybe she can't even quite place, but she's a little bored, a little uncomfortable, and she's, you see her, make eye contact with you, and then she looks over towards Velma and signs real quick, and Velma signs back while saying, "Yeah, you just don't go too far, all right?"
Wait, Fran, here, you can have fun with this, maybe. And he hands her his arcane notebook.
Oh, nice.
Just sort of here you go, kid.
She places her... I don't know if I want to make CSL...
Make it the same.
make it the same. I was going to say that she places her hand on her, sort of like her chin near her mouth, and then moves it in a downward motion, like ASL thank you. We can say that's the same.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the same. She says thank you, and you recognize that.
Yeah, it's the one thing Eli knows in sign language.
You learn that real fast. Just a quick side note: I when I was learning sign language, I had gotten that very ingrained in myself, and I realized that I did it unconsciously a few times, and I think that it looked like I was blowing a kiss at somebody, and I was like, oh no, oh no, I didn't mean to do that. I'm sorry. Anyway, so she takes the arcane notebook and wanders off, tossing a pebble in her hand.
So the God King is not Lumen or Nox. Okay, so that... I guess I have no concept of who the God... If the God King is even a thing in present-day SCQ. Because, like, Roderick would have no idea about any... What's the word? Corrupted beast.
Yeah, that's... Oh, you're right, because...
underground the whole time.
And because those had never spread out of Mount Rena, as far as you're aware. So,
Yeah.
like, yeah.
Okay. So Lumen and Nox are actual gods.
As far as I know.
The God King was a person who seems to not be an issue anymore.
If that is true, then that is amazing.
Maybe we could bring y'all up topside. We could go... This whole place is just swimming in, just unhallowed energies. It is... Perhaps just being down here is what has turned you all into what you are today. Maybe we could get you up. My father and grandfather are two of the highest priests in the world. They could potentially help you.
So we just need to find an exit. Go upstairs.
Wait. What if the only thing keeping you alive is being down here?
Roderick looks to Treya.
I mean, I have not been above. I don't know.
If we take you up above, how do we know that you're not gonna just fall apart?
Would that be a problem? Y'all have... I don't mean to be cold. The people down here have lived centuries unknowing of what's above, in caves as skeletons unknowing. Is it ethical to leave people down here just to live a sham of an existence? No offense, Trey, of course.
Offense taken. I am not ready to... I am not going to sacrifice myself so that you can... listen, I appreciate what you're saying here, that you want to help me and bring me to your father, but I am not going to risk ending myself to go above, and even if we can find a way out.
That's fair.
And even if we do find an exit, we need someone with the magic that can let us get out. So how do we know we aren't going to just bring the place down upon ourselves if we try to dig out?
We just need to find the open entrance. There's at least one, possibly two. I grew up with a artifact of this place. How else would that have gotten above ground?
How are we going to... What do you mean with an artifact of this place?
My family, generation to generation, has passed down something that we always called the boar hammer. It was a war hammer of excellent make with the sign of a boar. And he points to a wall, because I imagine there's just a boar mile marker.
Yeah, there's markers every once in a while. Yeah.
You had a symbol with you had one of those on your hammer.
Yes.
That's a symbol of the Bregaton army.
Bregaton. Is that the name of your world?
That's the name of the kingdom, yes.
That's the name of the world.
What do you mean?
There's nothing outside of Bregatone.
What do you mean? You said that you knew of Mount Rena. That's outside of Bregatone.
No, that's like the northern edge of Bregatone. Even the dwarves, like the few in tune with nature that I've known, have referred to it, the world as Brega.
What do you talk?
Okay, listen. Clearly lots of stuff has changed. We don't need to get hung up on this. Clearly now, Bregatone is everything. And then Bregatone was just your home, these tunnels and
Well,
and
the
shit.
Bregatone was not just these tunnels. The Bregatone was the fields, the farms, the city. It was all of that. Everywhere was the kingdom. It was my home. But it wasn't everything.
I'm getting my mind blown. But I want you to know I meant, and I realize I overstepped the line by implying that perhaps your existence was not as meaningful as other existences.
You
but we
think
have-
so?
Yeah, okay. Currently we are bathing in unhallowed energy. That can't be good for the skin.
Well, clearly I don't have to worry about that.
But what if we had
You're right.
a way to test whether or not it's what is preserving you? And he looks over to the two horses.
There is a long pause as as Velma and Treya just sort of like look at each other and look at you and look at the horses.
Well, here's what I'm thinking.
Yes.
I don't want to lose my horses. We get to the exit. I take one of them through. If they collapse, I scooch the bones back in. And then they hopefully reassemble.
Reassemble. Okay. I'm not opposed to. Well, that's all well and good if we can find an exit, right? But I am not going to go back through where we just came from, all right? Because I do not want to have to fight our way through this town. I am not going to be responsible for the death of anyone else.
I'm almost willing to do it just because that was so much fun. Just kidding, Roger does not say that.
So
Fair enough.
In the meantime, I vote that if we do not find a way out, what should we be?
Is there an area in these tunnels under a dome? A large dome.
I want you to explain to me, Ty, his thought process in asking this question.
Roderick knows about, Roderick's family lives in Cirque. Like, it is on a large dome that no one can get into.
And that has been there since before the loss.
It's been there forever. So, like, hey, if we can't
All right,
get
all
above
right.
ground through any opening, that would at least put him in the area of his father and his grandfather, who currently he believes are the two best cases for them to like fix this. If the goal is to restore you to true life, I can't think of anyone better than my father or my grandfather, the two probably the most powerful religious leaders in the world. And they are on a city that is directly connected to this large dome that can be seen outside, that no one can get into. And if that dome is over these tunnels, then that at least gives us an area to search. And since we haven't been there yet, I haven't done horrific things to piss off the populace there.
That is such good logic. I love it, Eli. Treya leans back.
Yes. Yes. I can do you one better than just tunnels underneath that dome. That is where the royal city is.
Oh. Well, was the royal family there?
The royal family would be there. That is where we would definitely find at least, I don't know if we probably wouldn't find the entire Council of Arcanists, but we definitely could find at least one. And there are also gates to the top side in that city.
That's amazing. Do you have an in with the royal family in any way?
Are you kidding me? No.
I guess I did meet you in prison. That
Yeah.
was... Well, here's what I'm thinking. If we don't want to risk bringing you topside, I can go topside and get my father. If we can find a gate, I can bring him down here. It's been months since I've left. I bet he'd be willing to do anything for the person who saved my life.
I'd take that bet. That sounds pretty good to me.
I also promised a lot of money to that goblin. And he only gave me bones.
If we are to go to Royal City, if we are to go to Bragaton City, I need you to promise me that we are going to find a way to fix this.
Of course.
No, Roderick, I need you to promise me. If we are going to go there, I need you to promise me that we will fix this, that I will not be like this, that no one I know or care about will be like this.
Treya, for as long as I have known you, and you have known me, have been struggling with purpose and what I am doing and why I am doing it. I have lived my life bound by oaths that I'm not sure were the right ones to take. If there is a way to fix this, I will lay down everything I have to make it happen. That is the only thing I can promise you. If there is not a way to fix it, I promise you, you will not suffer this alone, at the very least, as I will spend the rest of my days trying to find a way.
It will have to be enough.
You want to know something?
She looks at you.
He reaches over and grabs something, whatever's cooking on the fire, and he's like, I wish we hadn't used all the butter. And he bites into whatever it is that's been cooking on the fire.
Oh, man.
So Velma, let's get Fran. Let's eat. Let's rest up. And tomorrow, let's head to Rega City?
Bragaton City's Royal City.
Bragaton City.
The Royal City.
Then let's head to the Royal City. We'll get there. Treya, you will be our interpreter, as it is. I will not talk. And we will find the entrance, or exit. I'll go get my father and grandfather. I will bring them down here. My father is the High Priest of Lumen. My grandfather is the High Priest of Nox. Between the two of them, they should have an idea of how to fix this. Or at least where to start.
And when we get to the city, then we will find Ku, and we will make you a nice dinner with rotten food and all the rotten, rancid butter you can eat.
I will wait until I find my father. Also, and this is less important, if you could at some point make me a set of armor, I'm basically naked out here. My AC is 9. If you had to quantify out of, I don't know, let's call it 30, how good I am at taking a hit, it's 9.
After an unsatisfying meal, as the embers die, with the darkness forcing Velma and Fran to finally turn in for the night, Roderick lays on his side, unseen but awake.
Roderick kind of looks around as best as he can see, kind of looks at the sleeping figures of Fran and Velma and the sleeping figure of Treya as best as he can tell. And he gets up and moves a little bit away and kneels down. Out of his waistband, he pulls his cudgel and sets it in front of him. And looping over the cudgel, he places his holy symbol of Lumen. And he looks at the symbol, and he looks at his new weapon, and he says, Lumen, years ago I took an oath to you, and I fear I have not carried it out in the proper way. In my eagerness to tread the path of the righteous, I have beaten down those treading a different path. Over the past few months, I have forsaken that oath because of my own shortcomings. And now with this new quest in front of me, I come to you to promise a new oath. One that will hopefully bring redemption to myself, but most importantly, to the others who need it. In repayment for the abilities that you may bestow upon me, I swear these tenets. Peace. Violence is a weapon of last resort. Diplomacy and understanding are the paths to long-lasting peace. Innocence. All people begin life in an innocent state, and it is their environment or the influence of dark forces that drives them to evil. By setting the proper example and working to heal the wounds of a deeply flawed world, we can set anyone on a righteous path. Patience. Change takes time. Those who have walked the path of the wicked must be given reminders to keep them honest and true. Once I have planted the seed of righteousness in a creature, I must work day after day to allow that seed to survive and flourish. And finally, something I have lacked for far too long. Wisdom. My heart and mind must stay clear, for eventually I will be forced to admit defeat. While every creature can be redeemed, some are so far along the path of evil that I may have no choice but to take a more desperate measure. Any such action must be carefully weighed and the consequences fully understood. But once I've made the decision, I will follow through with it, knowing that my path is just. And with this new oath, I rebind myself to your holy light. And he grabs his holy symbol.
And the light of the fire brightens for a moment.
And then I cast sleep on myself and go to sleep.
Yeah.
I wanted to bring back in the tenants because that was something
That's
that he
very
didn't do this arc. So the next one he will have different tenants to say.
I love it. I love it.
His catchphrase.
All right. Do you want to do an outro and then we can just sort of chat about some stuff?
I've been Eli.
And I've been Ty.
And I think it's time for us all to rest and think about the things we've done and the choices we've made and how we can make better choices in the future.
I like that.
Da 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 da.
Thanks to the Joy Drops for the use of Not Drunk as our intro and outro music. Find them at thejoydrops.com. You can find us at sidecharacterquest.com, at SCQ Podcast on Twitter, or by email at sidecharacterquest@gmail.com.
The Scavengers Network.
Creator-driven,
community-focused,
treasured content.
All right. Cool. Do you want to record anything, or we just want to end it here?
We can just end it here. It's
Okay,
up to you.
That works for me.
Cool. I didn't know if you wanted to do a post-mortem.
Wait, there's actually one thing. Are you still recording?
Yeah.
Okay, I just wanted to make a point. Do you know why Fran is named Fran?
No.
Because you named her that, silly.
Did I name her Fran?
You named her Frankles.
Yes! Frankles is canon, bitches!
So when I signed her name to you, I did sign Frankles.
That's amazing. That's awesome. Good.
There'll be like a little music playing and then bloopers.
So Roderick got on Starshine with Treya. Velma got on Moonbeam with Fran. And it's about to fucking be a high stakes, high energy horse chase through Skelletown.
Hell yeah!
Did I miss anything? Hold on. I feel like I meant to say something. Oh yeah, Fran is the little girl's name, and she is deaf. And Roderick is very self-conscious about the fact that he is the only person in the group who does not know sign language.
Woo!
Woo!
All right.
Oh, I should also mention something. So throughout this adventure, generally Roderick has been the one riding Moonbeam. The reason he divided the horses up as he did was because he was looking in his strategic mind to maximize the comfort of everyone. So knowing that Velma had the most experience riding Moonbeam, whereas Roderick is an experienced horseman and can generally ride almost any horse pretty well. That's why he made those two, why he divvied up the horses that way. And he obviously put Fran with Velma because he wanted to make sure that Fran also felt safe together and secure. Even though he probably, part of him was like, well, I could probably be more of a shield, but like we're looking for comfort in a pretty high stakes, high energy, high stress situation.
Eli wants you to know that he's been considerate of other people's feelings.
Hell yeah. My internet connection is unstable. Line.
All right.
Chase music, okay? 1, 2, 3. And if you're wondering, that was another soda. Let's get this heart racing.
I feel like it's the sort of thing where like this is where like backgrounds and stuff come into play. I don't really like D&D's background system. I understand why it exists, and it exists because it's a way to get people to jumpstart people into role playing, right? But like, it also I think has a way of codifying things which I think could otherwise come from role play. And like, for example, I think that that Roderick should get advantage or should get like a bonus, like proficiency bonus or something when doing animal handling checks with horses.
Yeah.
You know, that sort of thing.
Because his mounted combatant thing is a feat, and it gives all these bonuses in combat, and that's it.
Yeah. Gotcha.
See, I was thinking about this recently. I was like, it would actually be really cool to start doing custom backgrounds. Because if you read the description of backgrounds, that they very clearly intend for people to make their own. Because I was thinking
100%. Yes.
I was thinking the next character I want to play.
For SCQ or in general?
Just in general.
Okay.
I want to play he's a multi-class. He's a Beastmaster Ranger with a pony companion. And he is an artificer who is, what's the thing? It's like the Eldritch Cannon Artificer. And he is a gnome that uses his thing to summon like a revolver. And his background, I was like, it'd be really cool if he had a criminal background, but none of the criminal like things make sense. And I thought cattle rustler.
Yes.
He has done his time. He has the back. So I was like thinking of all these things of how like, yeah, he has a criminal contact, but his criminal contact knows that he's gone straight. So like he could maybe get some information out of him, but not willingly. Stuff like that. But Anyways, let's get back into the game. I'm jazzed, man. That went fucking well.
Now a helicopter is flying by.
Nice.
So my plan from this point is, so we know I gave you I sent you the monologue. I think we're going to like fade out of that last scene and then fade in on this scene. And so keep in mind that for whatever reason, you are faking a smile right now.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, okay, I think, so here's what I'm thinking. All right, you ready? I'm thinking we get to the fireside, it fades in, and I just say, Treya, you promised answers, and I think we're safe now. Like, what is going on? We kind of do the lore dump. And then Velma says something. I think Velma makes a joke. Like, because she's sharpening her sword, right?
Mm-hmm.
And maybe she says something about, like, well, right now I'm feeling like I could take on the God King myself. And, like, everyone's kind of laughing or something. And then Roderick's like, how the hell did we get here? Like, we were looking for a girl. And we are now in this. And that's sort of where, like, the full circle thing is.
You ready?
Give me a second. I'm trying to figure out why my internet.
Do you want
connection is
you do that? I'll grab stuff from my dryer real
close
quick.
out of any tabs. Huh? Ty just inexplicably left his apartment. Where the fuck did he go? What just happened? I guess I'm gonna go pee. Okay.
Eli's gone. I'm just waiting for him over here. Oh, hey, bud.
Ty, you're back.
Yeah.
Where the hell did you go?
So you said that your internet was unstable, and I had to pick up stuff from my laundry machine.
Okay.
So I was like,
because I literally just saw you leave your apartment, and I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah. My laundry room is down the hall.
Gotcha.
And I had to get these sheets that Jellybean puked all over.
Nice. All right, Ty, you ready?
Yep.
All right, on the count of 3, I need you to edit in some high stakes, high energy baseline chase music, okay?
Oh. You hit max speed. Max speed is silly. Oh god. Okay, I'm getting into it in my head.
We push these horses to their limit.
You push these horses to their limit.